Yo everyone, this is Sam. I wanted to talk to you about something that I started on the other day, and that is that our bodies aren't evolved enough to handle the diet that society is providing for us. And what it's doing, it's creating a lot of health problems. I had a mate, Lorian, and he started talking about it yesterday. He's pretty fired up about it. I'm going to talk about it from a little bit of a different perspective, and some of it's about the science behind why our bodies function the way they do and where we are on an evolutionary scale, and also some of the social factors that are influencing us and why our society's created these influences on us. So we'll look at, first of all, where our bodies are on an evolutionary scale. So our bodies are right here. 300,000 years ago, the current human body, the one that you're walking around in every day, was perfected. It hit its peak and became the dominant species on Earth 300,000 years ago. And Homo sapien, which you are, was a hunter-gatherer. And so what Homo sapien did all day is he chased after animals and he went foraging for food. And our bodies are still designed to do this every day. About 10,000 years ago, our societies became agricultural. So we harnessed technology to be able to control, grow crops, have animals, herd animals, and make sure we had a constant source of meat and fruit and vegetables for our society. And what that allowed us to do is we didn't have to go searching every day. Our bodies weren't out there chasing after animals, hunting them anymore, and we could focus more on technology, and that allowed our societies to grow, and it's allowed the human population to grow massively around the world. And so we are the dominant species here on Earth. But in the last, say, 30 years, we're doing something very crazy to ourselves. Totally crazy, and we're killing ourselves. We're creating massive health problems because we've surrounded ourselves with a diet that is super high calorie, too high calorie for our hunter-gatherer bodies to process properly. So we look at the way our society has created all these products. Why has society created all these products? One, the biggest reason is that it generates a huge amount of money. If you create products that are high calorie, when people eat these products, sugars and chemicals, they release dopamine into the brain. And dopamine is humans' feel-good chemical. So people, hunter-gatherers, will search this out. And that's what we do. We search out high-calorie hits all day. That primitive part of our brain will search out feeling good all the time. We want that dopamine, which ultimately is addictive. You know, you look at a product like Whole Food capsules. They don't instantly release dopamine into your brain. These have a long-term health effect because our bodies are meant to function on those type of products, which is fruits, vegetables, and berries. You operate at 100% if you have these sorts of things in your body. You don't operate at 100% if you have a super high sugar diet. But unfortunately, our society's created a system where we're surrounded by brightly packaged goods that our primitive brains are attracted to, and we know behind those brightly colored goods are sugary rewards. That if I eat that thing, it's going to give me an instant feeling of satisfaction. It's going to give me what our society's taught us is happiness and energy. And so we constantly want that, and our hunter-gatherer bodies are out there seeking for that every day. And when we surround ourselves by it more, it becomes so much easier to go and seek out, like a hunter, go and seek out energy drinks. I'm going to go seek out coffee. I'm going to go seek out fast food. I'm going to go seek out all these things that give me a reward. They release dopamine into my brain. And when that dopamine is released, that actually becomes addictive for people. So People get addicted to that feeling. They don't realize it, and that's why I need to tell you about it, is that society has created an addiction with diet for all the people because it generates huge amounts of money. And when I talk to people about a product like this, and people look at me and they say, man, he's trying to sell me something. Man, that guy's trying to sell me something. What I'm kind of trying to do is I'm trying to give you something. I'm trying to show you that you need something in your diet for a scientific reason, because your body is designed to operate at 100% when these products are put into it. When that, which comes from nature, is put into your body, you will operate at 100%. And the amazing part is that our society, through technology, has allowed this to become available, which is made of all the natural products that the earth's produced, all the natural products that gave birth to this guy, Homo sapien, which you are. Why he became a dominant species on earth is because his brain developed growing on these products, fruit, vegetables, and berries. And our society isn't acknowledging that. We're letting people develop health problems living on high-calorie diets, living on sugar diets, and we're pouring huge amounts of money into, say, pharmaceutical companies to try and solve the problem. Medicine, try and solve the problem. And all we have to do is we can solve the problem right here. A fast way, I can eat this right now. That product has gone into my body, and it's all it is natural. All it is natural, and it's exactly what my body needs. And you've seen how fast it is. It's as fast as drinking an energy drink, except it doesn't have the negative side effects. Long term, that having super high calorie diets. And it's a funny thing, our society isn't teaching us to value the right things, the things that are best for our bodies. And it's because in the short term, they can generate huge amounts of money feeding people what they want, feeding people what makes them happy. So I'll look at a simple scenario, and you look at media pre-frames products for us. Media pre-frames the way that we see certain products, and that if you put fruit and vegetables in front of somebody, compared with a pile of chocolate, a lot of people lean towards the chocolate. Psychologically, the reason why is because our brains recognize that chocolate is going to release dopamine into my brain. My body wants that more than fruit and vegetables. On an animal scale, my body wants the sugar hit, the high calorie, more than the fruit and vegetables. And you look at something like, if a movie was made about a kid going to a fruit and vegetable factory, so the kid wins a ticket, some guy straps a golden ticket to a potato, and the kid gets it and he wins a trip to a factory, just like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, except this movie is called Uncle Con and the Fruit Factory, and the kid wins a trip to the fruit factory. How many people want to watch this movie? What sort of kid wants to go to a fruit factory? Even though fruit and vegetables is better for the kid's diet, he's going to be the healthiest kid in the neighborhood, he's going to have a non-stop lifetime supply of fruit and vegetables. Nobody wants to see that movie because society has created a situation where we don't view fruit and vegetables and health as valuable. Instead, we create a movie called Charlie and the Chocolate Factory about a kid who gets a golden ticket in a chocolate bar, and he goes to a factory and he wins a competition, and he becomes the happiest kid in the world because he gets all the chocolate that he would ever need. And now that's our society pre-frames that product for us. So as an adult, when you're out there every day, if you get the opportunity, you see a brightly colored chocolate bar wrapper, you go into a supermarket and you see that product, psychologically you've been programmed to want that product. You want that product because you're taught that will make you happy, that will make you satisfied. And so People are constantly out there in their hunter-gatherer bodies searching for those products now because society has dictated to them that that is going to make them happy. When ultimately, the vegetables, the fruit, everything that we kind of taught is boring is exactly what you need. The hunter-gatherer Homo sapiens, 30% of their diet was from animals, so it's protein from hunting animals and eating meat. And the other 70% of their diet came from plants. So that's what our bodies are built on. The building blocks of our brains, the way our bodies are meant to operate, are built on those vegetables, fruits, and berries. They're not built on chocolate bars. They're not built on lollies. They're not built on sugar. They're not built on that. But in the short term, society has produced and surrounded us constantly with advertising because our brains are going to release dopamine and they want us all addicted to those products. So as a hunter-gatherer brain, we're going to go out there and we're going to seek those products. And as a joke, it's kind of like, we're not that different to these guys. Put a piece of fruit or something sweet in front of a monkey, he will eat it all day, man. He will eat it all day. He will search it out. He will seek it. And human brains are kind of like that. Well, they're exactly like that. We evolved from our common ancestor. And so the way a monkey's brain works is when he eats something sweet, it releases dopamine. When a human brain eats something sweet, high calorie, it releases dopamine. There's a scientific reason behind, because if we found sweet things in the environment when we were a hunter-gatherer, that meant that it released high calories. As a survival mechanism, our brains have been geared to look for those. But we no longer have to survive like we did when we were a hunter-gatherer 300,000 years ago. The way we have to survive now in our society is to give ourselves the power back. With technology, we can give ourselves a fast hit again of fruits, vegetables, and berries, get that back into our diet, operate at 100%, and you have the ability to get access to that. And somebody said the other day, they said, but we have free choice. You do have free choice. You absolutely 100%. You have free choice. If you want to eat bags of sugar all day because it releases dopamine into your brain and makes you happy, do it, man. Absolutely do it. But if you want to live, work at 100%, feel genuinely happy, your body is looking good, you're feeling great, everything's functioning properly, you have to go back to what your body is made to do. You have to go back to it. So I'm going to leave you with that thought for the day. You can comment below this video if you want. And that's all I've got for you today from Healthy Life. It's something that I've been thinking about. I'm going to keep making these videos. I'm going to keep talking to you guys because there's some other stuff I want to talk to you about, some of the social factors that are influencing us towards diet and why they want to push us that way. And we have to evolve in our behavior. We have to start a revolution in the way we start to think about the way we eat every day.